All right, and we're talking about sex today. So whoever the hell likes it, I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's talk about the reality of self-driving cars. So today we're gonna talk about if humans are actually gonna be replaced by autopilot. Do you guys think we're gonna be replaced by autopilot later in the future? Do you think we're gonna get more lazier and lazier, and we're just gonna sit in the seat and have some car drive us, some computer drive us, and we're just gonna be like, okay, I want to take a nap? Is that gonna happen? That's literally something that can happen because it happens now. So we're going to talk about who you're going to trust more. As a passenger in a car, who do you feel more comfortable with? Would you rather trust a person you can talk to, touch, communicate with, and verbally talk to them, or would you rather talk to a computer who you just put like I want to go here and it'll take you there? No response, no nothing. So we're going to dive deeper. So, okay, a little fast. Being in the auto industry, now that there's more cars on the road, more technology in them, and they're being more advanced, I want to go dive a little more deeper into them and see if later down the road, when I'm working on cars, I'm servicing them, and is the Tesla just going to roll up by itself and be like, I need this and this and this? That could happen, can it? Because now the cars are getting more and more technology. Let's dive deeper more into the curiosity of what's more reliable, humans or computers. We're also going to talk about if autopilot is evolving, and also the pros and cons of humans and autopilots. So, does this book work? Okay, perfect. So who's more reliable behind the wheel? Now that I've talked to you about what we're kind of previewing, let's actually get into it. So who's actually more reliable behind the wheel? Now there's humans and there's autopilot. So as humans, obviously we make mistakes, correct? We get into accidents, we hit people, we crash into cars, it just happens. We drunk drive, it just happens. But we learn from it. We learn how to drive safely, effectively, defensively, offensively. And the best way is that you learn how to drive home. You make it safely home. That's what matters, right? Getting home safe. Now with autopilot, don't get me wrong, autopilot is great, but it's a novice driver. It's a novice driver. It's just learning. It's a computer that has like a camera all around, and it's like, okay, that's a tree, that's a car, I'm getting too close. How do you know that it's not going to malfunction? But, I mean, people do also make mistakes as well. That's what happens in accidents, collisions, correct? Okay, perfect. Now that we talked about a little bit about who would be more reliable behind the wheel, let's get into our next one. And that one is actually going to be, how has autopilot evolved in the world? Okay, so now right here, this is the car. Okay, so what this will be is the front camera, side cameras, more side cameras, everything in the back of the car. What happens if you're asleep behind the wheel, correct? And you're driving, and say there's construction on the freeway, and the car doesn't recognize it. You're gonna hit straight into that wall, and you're gonna wake up into a big crash. And who knows? Just because you fell asleep behind the wheel, now you're in a big accident, and you're paying for it. And if you hit someone else, you're in charge. You're in trouble, and if you kill someone, you're going to jail. So autopilot has evolved, correct? But it's been more so by getting constant updates every night. They're always scanning more roads and saying, okay, listen, that's a tree, this is a car, careful of this bump, here's a stop sign. That's all it's doing. That's computer is just saying, okay, I know this road, there's a car here, there's a stop sign here, I gotta stop this far. That's all a computer is. Yes, it's a driver, but I mean, it's a computer. It's only based off of like what they're getting fed, what the new updates are coming in. Now, with humans, what we are, okay, sorry, take it back. With autopilot evolved, with autopilot and how it's evolved, basically what it is that they're rookies. That's the best way to put it. They're rookie. Now, you might have years of experience behind the wheel. How much experience does a car have? Little to none, right? You're getting in a car and you're trusting it to take you somewhere. What happens if you don't trust it enough? What happens if it malfunctions? What happens if you get into an accident? It can all happen. Now, because we talked about autopilot and how it's evolved, and we learned that autopilot is not 100% effective and it's not completely safe, but it's getting there. Let's actually get into a quote that was told. According to Gilly Smith and Sven Nyholm on the ethics of accident algorithm and self-driving cars published in July 28, 2016, Yet self-driving cars cannot be 100% safe. Should the autonomous vehicles be programmed to always minimize the numbers of deaths, or should they be perhaps programmed to save the passengers at all costs? Tesla has come a long way, but is still a work in progress. Okay, now we're going to get into the final one. Who do you trust more, humans or technologies? Okay, as I said in the very beginning, kind of going over, yes, everyone makes mistakes. Cars make mistakes. We make mistakes. We get into accidents. That's just who we are. We're learning, correct? Now, autopilot's learning as well. So basically, it's just a give and take of who you feel like trusting more. Do you want to trust your buddy, your mom, your grandma, or do you want to trust a car that is a little bit more reliable, but on the same level? You know, still learning, still learning. Okay. Now we are actually going to. Now, sorry for the last one, but what this one is we're actually going to talk about the pros and cons of cars. Pros and cons of humans and cars. So, yes, humans, definitely what we have for pros is we're reliable, self-resistant, we care about everyone else, but the cons are, what happens if we have a slow reaction time? What happens if we're drunk driving, we're reckless, we're just everything, we're all over the road. Now, for pros and cons of Tesla and what it is for the autopilot is that yes, it's a car, yes, it takes care of you, yes, it'll take you exactly where you need to go. A con is that you can't talk to it, you can't touch it, it'll just tell you where you need to go. That'll be all today.